This article was sent to me by Scorpio Guy, and it's a story that is not getting much traction at all, but something tells me it's probably going to eventually, hopefully, pick up some steam. Probably because of the situation at hand and also because of the location in which it occurred. So in this picture, you see a 22-year-old man by the name of DarQuan Jones. As you can see right there, he has a sling on and his face is pretty bruised and he looks like he had a black eye. That's because he was the victim of what they're now declaring, or what they want to be investigated as, a hate crime. Because apparently he was jumped by multiple PC males and had, you know what, let me just go ahead and read the article and that'll explain it to you. Authorities in Iowa are investigating the alleged beating of a black man who local civil rights activists says appeared to be the victim of a hate crime. Speaking to reporters Wednesday, DarQuan Jones, age 22, said he suffered a broken arm, a broken nose, and 5 broken bones in his face after the alleged assault last weekend by multiple PC men. Why did it have to go this far to where my life was almost taken? Okay, I have to pause right there. Whenever, and this is not a slight to him, but I just have to say it. Whenever black people ask those kinds of questions, that shows you right there that many of them don't know what type of system they're living in, even though we have been exposed for the last few years what kind of system we are in. But see, the thing is, a lot of people don't question those kind of things until after it happens to either themselves or somebody close to him. Again, this is not a slight to him because it's not like he's the only one who asks those type of questions. A lot of people do, but it's until it happens to them that they really don't question it. See, me, it hasn't happened to me. I hope it doesn't happen to me, but let's just put it this way, I'm prepared. At least I know what's going on, and I'm being very aware of my surroundings. And him being in Iowa that has a very low black population, it doesn't surprise me that it happened there. Jones and witnesses told authorities that at least one of the men was using racial slurs. Des Moines police spokesman Sergeant Paul Perezik told NBC News. Cameron Middlebrooks, president of the Des Moines chapter of the NAACP, told NBC News that the incident occurred around 3 a.m. on May 16th after Jones arrived at his girlfriend's townhouse south of central Des Moines. When she didn't answer the door, two PC men approached Jones and accused him of burglary. Here we go again. Didn't I just do a story on this little girl down in South Carolina where this PC female accused her of stealing her mail? Now you have these two guys right here accusing him of a burglary, which probably lets me know what type of neighborhood he was in. And that's the same thing they tried to get with Ahmaud Arbery. See, that goes back to that stereotype that black people are thieves. Like, we can't be around nice things or have nice things. We just have to automatically be up to no good. But if you look under, you know what? Never mind. Let me keep going. It says, they said Middlebrooks, who was working on this, that's when the assault started. The men allegedly choked and punched Jones in the face using racial epithets. Middlebrooks said Jones initially tried to defend himself but fled to a nearby field. The men caught up with Jones, dragging him to a creek and shoving his head underwater. That sounds so much like a little bit what they were doing to Emmett Till. When 2 women from an apartment complex heard the commotion and came outside, Jones was able to run through a shallow creek and call the police. Jones described the alleged assailants as PC men who appeared to be in their 30s and were possibly drunk or high. If this is as the victim says it is and the witnesses are reporting as it is, then it should be investigated as nothing less than a hate crime. We want to respect the process, but they were using racial slurs throughout the altercation. Perezik said that the racist nature of at least one of the attackers is obvious, but he added that the detectives are still gathering evidence to determine a motive. In other words, they're trying to dumb down this thing and try to not charge them with a hate crime. Jones, who works for an auto parts store, was released from a local hospital earlier this week. Like I said, this happening in Iowa doesn't in the least bit surprise me. And the fact that these PC males went up to him and accused him of burglary lets me know what type of neighborhood he was in when he was going to see his girlfriend. Now, I don't know whether she is or if she isn't. I'll let y'all determine that one. But like I said, this plays out just like the Ahmaud Arbery situation and the one with the little girl down in South Carolina. Except that girl was at her house, which was with her grandmother. But see, it's always suspicion. Or just like when the truck driver was doing his job and those men blocked him in because they wanted to know what he was doing there. Or it was a recent one too with these two FedEx drivers and a PC male came out and started recording the phone because they wanted to know why they were there even though they were in uniform. Or the recent one with the Karen and the black guy and the black cop, and she thought he was there trying to break into the apartment that he lives in, but she claims to be the neighbor. I'm like, how do you not know who your neighbors are, especially if he's a cop? You see him coming in and out every day wearing a uniform. And he showed the key. But like I said, this skin that we are in is enough suspicion for them. That's all it is. And let's just be real here. They didn't think that he was burglarizing any damn thing. Let's be real here. They just saw a black guy that day by himself, and they was some bitches, and felt like they just had to have fulfill a conquest of beating a N-word that day, and they got it. That's all that was. I keep telling y'all, they are not far removed from their ancestors. He is, however, very lucky that the people living in that apartment made some noise and he was able to get away, because he could have drowned. They could have killed him. And that was their intent, was to kill them, to kill him. They need to find these two individuals. See, if I was like the person that was like related to this person and they found who did this, just leave me in the room with them for like a good 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all I would need. I'll let y'all paint the picture of that.